Again, this is on the physical level. Now, but we know somebody will say, well, I don't cut no tree out no forest. We don't do none of that. We got our tree from Macy's. And it's artificial, so I take it out of a box, so that can't be talking about me. We see that smart aleck stuff we always hear from people, always trying to find a loophole around everything. Let's go to Isaiah 40. And even this can be the tree. Anything that you try to uphold and make it into the image of the Most High.
What verse we at?
We're going to start at verse 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 20. He that is so impoverished that he has no oblation, choose a tree that will not rot.
So he chooses a tree that will not rot. So again, he can use his tree every year. Read.
He seeks unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved.
A graven image. So somebody, again, this part right here, it can definitely be a statue or something like that. That you actually turn a tree into a graven image.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Have you not known? Have you not heard? Has it not been told you from the beginning?
From who?
From the beginning.
Have it not been told to you from the beginning? Read.
Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth?
So he's giving us a clue. Is this not from the beginning? From the foundations of the earth? So he's letting us know. Go back to the beginning. If you really want to get some understanding of what's really going on, he's giving you a clue right here. Go back to the beginning.
Wait a minute, back to the garden?
That's what we're going to do. We're going to take the clue, what he says right here, and we're going to go back to the beginning. Let's go to Genesis. That's the beginning, right?
Exactly.
You can go to Genesis 2. Genesis 2 and 9.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 9. And out of the ground made the Most High to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food.
And what?
And good for food.
So he made this tree, and it was pleasant to the sight, and it was good for food. Matter of fact, read verse 8.
Verse 8. And the Most High planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed.
Read on.
And out of the ground made the Most High to grow every tree.
Every tree, read.
That is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden.
The tree of life is also in the midst of the garden. Read.
And the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
So we got a whole bunch of trees, but in the middle of this the garden, we have the tree of life and the tree of good and evil. Now, understanding, since we get into this truth, we can kind of understand psychology and people's mind frame and how it works. Understanding this, look at the tree of life like it's a garden, and all fruit and vegetables freshly made in there, and you got a spring for the water. But then you look at the tree of good and evil as a buffet. Pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, candy, all the stuff that you got at a buffet to make it the biggest desserts and the biggest, and it don't got no spring water there. Well, it's got it, but it's got Coke fountains and all of this stuff. Now, if people be honest with themselves, they had a choice between the garden, eating fresh, or the buffet. People honest with themselves, they know they will choose the buffet.
They ain't gonna eat that salad, brother, and that fruit, and them veggies?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Because we've been programmed to like stuff that's bad for us. It's been set there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We like the woman that don't do nothing right for us. She dog us out and call us out our name. You weak, this, that, and the third. But just because she look good, we still deal with it.
Exactly.
Same thing with them. The dude that pay him no mind, come outside, blow the horn. He a quote-unquote thug. He don't pay him no mind, don't do nothing right for him, and they love him to death. They say, well, the good guy, man, they too soft. I can run all over him. Don't want what's good for you.
Exactly.
That's how backwards we are. So read that last verse again.
Verse 9. And out of the ground made the Most High to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food.
And good for food.
The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
So right here, he's letting them know these trees are also in the midst of all the other trees. Both of these trees. Now we know we want to eat from the tree of life and not from the other tree. And this show you right here that even the enemy can do some good. So again, just because, like my Ak always say about the Vatican, who can beat them doing good on the earth right now?
No.
They do all kinds of stuff for people. But at the same time, we know the underlying thing of how wicked they are. Mm-hmm. The radio stations here have this little thing they got called shoes for shorties, one of them, and coats for kids. So they got all this little stuff, but at the same time, you playing music that completely wrecks everything that's good.
Destroys the kids. They want to give you a coat, but pump music into their minds and spirit that destroys our children.
You see that? That's good and evil. Right there. I'm going to keep you warm, but I'm going to destroy your mind and your body and your soul.
But you can be warm, though.
Right. Yes, right. You can be warm. That's the same thing right there.
Exactly.
Jump to verse 15.
Verse 15. And Yahuwah, the Most High, took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Most High commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat.
Of all the other trees in the garden, you can freely eat from this. Take information from the rest of them. Read.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
So when you eat from this tree, when you take information from this tree, you're going to die. Not right offhand, but you're going to die. That's what he's letting them basically know right there, outright. You're going to die. Let's jump to Genesis 3.
This is high level, by the way.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now this is really saying the Nakash. It's not really a snake right here, but that's another thing. And this word subtile, it really means wise or prudent. So when this thing says, now the serpent was more wise. Go ahead.
Than any beast of the field, which the Most High had made. He said unto the woman, yeah, has the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Now we got to understand, nobody ever asked the question, where did this thing get its wisdom from? Mm-hmm. How was it prudent? We're going to show you. Read.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High has said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.
You shall not eat of this tree. Again, physical, spiritual. You shall not eat of this tree. You shall not take information from this thing. Don't take any of its wisdom, because it's going to give you a little bit of the truth, and the rest, the lie, is going to kill you. Read.
And the serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die. For the Most High does know that in the day that you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as Elohim, knowing good and evil.
So right here, he says, you shall not surely die. Now we're going to go into the Encyclopedia Britannica. And y'all can check this out yourselves. Just go into the Encyclopedia Britannica and look up Christmas tree. And we're going to read this. Now, I'm going to read that, matter of fact, the verse that you just left from.
Okay.
What verse was that?
Verse 5.
Okay. Genesis 3 and 5. For the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, that then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. In fact, I'm going to take it back to verse before that. But of the fruit of the tree, in which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall surely not die. So he's telling them right there, you will not die if you eat from this. Let's read this. Start at the top of it.
Okay, this is from the Encyclopedia Britannica, Britannica.com. Christmas tree, an evergreen tree, often a pine or balsam or fir, decorated with lights and ornaments as a part of Christmas festivities. The use of evergreen trees, wreaths, and garlands to symbolize eternal life.
What kind of life?
To symbolize eternal life.
To symbolize eternal life. This is what Satan just told them right there. You shall surely not die. Well, his representative told him, you shall surely not die. Meaning you will have eternal life, when they already had eternal life because they had right to the tree of life in the beginning. Read.
To symbolize eternal life was a custom of the ancient Egyptians.
Of the who?
Ancient Egyptians.
So this thing way go past Hamashiach. Read.
The Chinese and the Hebrews.
And we was into this madness as well. Always going and following the other nations. That's why we're in trouble now. Read.
Tree worship was common among the pagan Europeans.
What kind of worship?
Tree worship.
Tree worship. Wait a minute. That's the same thing we was talking about. That song they were singing. Oh, Christmas tree. I made a song about a tree.
Wow.
Tree worship. Again, everybody moves everything out of the way for this thing and admires it and stand back and marvel at it. Wow, our tree killing everybody else's. Take a picture. You seen our Christmas tree? Let's have the best Christmas tree contest. Read.
Tree worship was common among the pagan Europeans and survived their conversion to Christianity.
I know you Christians don't like that, but it's telling you flat out.
They brought pagan customs into your religion.
Read.
Tree worship was common among the pagan Europeans and survived their conversion to Christianity in the Scandinavian customs of decorating the house and barn with evergreens at the New Year to scare away the devil.
Ain't that something? Like they taught us about the cross. Made us think all this time growing up that the cross was something good. It can keep vampires away, so you want to wear a cross, not knowing it's evil against evil. Read.
And of setting up a tree for the birds during Christmas time. It survived further in the custom, also observed in Germany, of placing a Yule tree at an entrance or inside the house during the midwinter holidays.
Read.
The modern Christmas tree, though originated in Western Germany, the main prop of a popular medieval play about Adam and Eve.
About who?
About Adam and Eve.
This is from the Encyclopedia